Yo, what is good with y'all? This is Mira from Internet Money, and today I'm going to be breaking down KMT by Drake featuring Gigs. Now this was on More Life, and it's one of the more popular songs. It was produced by NESS, and the whole song is actually a sample from Sonic the Hedgehog, believe it or not. So here's what Sonic the Hedgehog, the theme of Sonic, sounded like before it was all cut up. So now that we have that, it was actually pitched down 2 semitones, and then it was from there it was pitched down a whole octave. And each different string stab is where a different chop was placed throughout the sample. So over here I have my different chops of the sample for each string stab. And then it just progresses. In the second pattern here, I have this part of the sample, which is a bit later, and this is for the second part of the strings, for the end of the pattern. Accompanied by the chop sample are 2 stomps, followed by a transition at the end, and here's what that sounds like. Now that we have, this is going to be the main sample slash melody throughout the whole song, and then we're just introducing drums and then having breaks here and there. So starting with the drums, we have an 808 kick, snare, triangle, and hi-hat. I'm going to start off by playing the 808 pattern and showing y'all the notes. And the velocities at the end are changed. Next up we have the kick, which we're going to put here. We have 1 note here, then a double after the first snare. Introduce the snare. And lastly, we have this hi-hat pattern. So basically, this little roll is hitting after each snare. It's the dun 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 dun, and then we have one before the snare here, and then a triplet bounce here. Here's what it sounds like with the other drums. And now with the sample. Then after that we have this breakdown, which is only the 808 stomps and then the sample. And we have back to the main drums kicking in. And then after this 4-bar, 8-bar pattern, however you want to describe it, we have the sample playing by itself again, followed by the transition, and then the same beat drop looping. Except for this time, when the stomps hit, it's just no kick playing and the snares, triangles, hi-hats are playing. for this part, we went in the sample for the chops, and this is the breakdown where Giggs mentions Batman dun 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 dun, dun, which many may cringe at, but yeah, it's that part, and the whole sample is basically pitched up 200 cents. Here's what it sounds like. It's also accompanied by the stomps and the transition. And then lastly, we have the drums and sample playing again with a fade out as the next track on the playlist comes in. So yeah, that is the beat behind KMT by Drake featuring Giggs. Pretty simple beat, have some switch ups here and there. Nothing too special. Mostly the bass isn't really present. It's a very subtle sub bass, and most of the bass comes from the sonic sample itself since it's pitched down so low. But yeah, it's been Nick Mira from Internet Money, showing y'all Giggs and Drake KMT breakdown. I'm out.